AI is promising this massive business revolution. But for any smart leader, that promise comes with some really tough practical questions. Today, we're going to tackle those questions head on.
Look, I've gathered the most skeptical questions I hear from CEOs behind closed doors. These are the real-world concerns that can stop a huge AI initiative dead in its tracks. So today, no filter, just clear, practical answers.
All right, let's start with the first and biggest hurdle for just about everyone, the price tag. It's the one objection that always comes up.
It's a totally fair question. Isn't this all just way too expensive for my company? I mean, AI projects can look like they require a huge upfront investment. But looking at that initial cost is only seeing half the picture.
Here's the reframe we need to make. The real question isn't, what does AI cost? It's, what is it costing you not to do this? What is inaction costing your business every single day? Because that cost is real and it's happening right now.
There's actually a term for this. It's called the cost of inaction, or COI. And this isn't just some vague business school concept. It's a real metric. It's the lost revenue, the bloated expenses from inefficiency, and it's you slowly losing ground to your competitors. It is the price you pay for standing still.
So think about it like this. You have two types of costs. On one hand, you've got an AI investment. That's a proactive, strategic choice you make to drive future growth. On the other hand, you have the cost of inaction. That's a hidden, sneaky tax that you're already paying every single day through wasted time and effort.
And the scale of this is just massive. We're not talking small numbers here. McKinsey projects that AI is going to add $13 trillion to the global economy by 2030. So the question every leader has to ask themselves is, how much of that opportunity are we just leaving on the table by waiting?
Okay, so let's say you're on board with the cost. Great, but that brings us to the next major fear. And honestly, this one's even more important. Because what good is the best technology in the world if your team won't actually use it?
This is maybe the biggest risk of all. You can have the shiniest, most powerful AI, but if your people don't embrace it, that investment is worth zero. This is all about the human side of things, and it's where these transformations live or die.
Now check this out, because it's pretty revealing. The Project Management Institute looked into why big change initiatives fail. And you know what they found? The technology itself is only the problem about 14% of the time. The other 86%, it's all about people and process. Things like bad communication, fuzzy goals, weak project management. The takeaway is huge. The tech is the easy part. Getting people to adopt it is the real strategy.
So, to succeed, you need a blueprint. A plan that is laser-focused on the human side of this change. It's not about just rolling out some new software. It's about building awareness, explaining the why. It's about providing emotional support to deal with the natural fears people have. It means seriously investing in training and new skills, and creating ways for people to give feedback. This is not some nice-to-have. It is the absolute core of a successful AI strategy.
Okay, so you know you need a plan, and you know it has to be about people. The next logical step for a lot of CEOs is to look around the room and wonder, who's going to do this? And they often look right at their IT department.
This comes up constantly. Can't I just give this to my IT team? Your IT folks are brilliant. They're essential. But, and this is a big but, implementing a transformative AI strategy requires a completely different skill set.
Look, it's not about who's better. It's about what they're built for. Your IT team are experts in operational excellence. They keep the lights on, the systems running, everything secure and stable. That's a critical, complex job. An AI strategist's job is totally different. Their job is to connect technology to your business goals to generate a real, measurable return on investment. One keeps the engine running, the other is designing a whole new vehicle.
So that brings us to our final, and maybe the most skeptical question of all. This one really cuts to the heart of what strategy is even for, and why a plan is so much more than just a document. Why would I pay you for a plan? Why not just pay you to start building stuff? Let's just go. I get it. It feels faster. It feels more like taking action. But what are you actually buying when you skip the planning phase?
Let's just be really blunt here. When you pay for a strategic plan, you are buying certainty. You're buying a roadmap that shows you the costs, the risks,
the timeline, and the expected ROI. When you pay for implementation without a plan, you're buying a lottery ticket. You're just gambling. And let me tell you, hope is not a business strategy. And a real AI blueprint is this comprehensive framework. It connects all the dots. It starts with high-level governance and strategy, ties it to the nitty-gritty of your data and tech infrastructure, builds a plan for your talent and culture, and most importantly, it defines the clear KPIs you'll use to prove it's all actually working. That's what turns a hopeful gamble into a predictable, transformative business win.
So there you have it. We've tackled the cost, the people, the right skills, and the strategy. Now, it's your turn. We've walked through some of the biggest, most common questions that I get. But every single business is different. Maybe you're sitting there thinking, yeah, but my situation is unique. Maybe you have an even tougher question. So here's my challenge to you. Bring it. Book a 15-minute call and ask me your toughest question. Let's put this all to the test. Thanks for tuning in to this explainer.